Okay, today we're going to learn the mitzvah Reish Lamed Ches. It's from Sefer Achinuch. The mitzvah alav in the Torah Shaloi Lisnoi Achim, that we're not allowed to hate brothers. We're not allowed to hate anybody from Bnei Yisrael. So it says like this: Shaloi Lisnoi Sinas Halev Echad Mi Yisrael. The dogish of it Sinas Halev. Shneimar Lo Sisnu Esochicha Bilvavecha. That says in the Torah Bilvavecha. Okay, so that's the lashon in Sifra and the lashon Gemara Be'erchin that the pasuk talks about B'Sina Shebelev. Avol kshiareloi sino v'yeda shu soinoi and over love. It's a very interesting love. That love you over only if you hate somebody in your heart. You never told him you hate him. He thinks on the surface you're friends. You say maybe good morning to him when you see him in the morning, but you hate him in your heart. That's you over it. But if you tell him I hate you, then you're not over on that love. However, avol, yeah, omnam. Who over a losikam velositer. It doesn't mean if somebody says I hate you, it doesn't mean it's a tzaddik. No, it's not over a losisna sechika bilvavecha because it's not keeping. Soon we're going to see why the pasuk is so machmir on this. Should be seen a belev, but he's still over. If he tells him the ferush, I hate you, he's over a losikam velositer. Meaning why you hate him because you have something against him. But if you hate him for no reason, I would say that goes under the mental sickness. If you hate somebody for no reason, you should belong in the mental institution.
What's the revenge?
Oh, don't revenge and don't keep a grudge against somebody. It's obviously you have a reason. Oh, but then if you tell him I hate you for that reason, or you have a reason, then you over a losikum velositor. Yeah. So you over on the Esther v'ahavta when you tell him I hate you. You over losikum velositor, but you're not over losisno chika bilvavecha. Now, then that's the punchline of what that mamash that what's going on in those days before Tisha B'av. We're already going to this every year. Basically, we're focusing more on the small details. Don't do this. The ikar why we're in Golus. We come sinas alev hikoshom mikol asino agluya. That's why the Torah says, don't hate him in your heart, because it's worse than any sin agluya. That's a lot worse than if you tell him I hate you. Oh, now he explains why. Why the Torah is so makbid sinas alev more than if you say it. Okay, shorish hamitzvah yedua. Ki sinas halev goyremes roes gedoylos ben bnei adam. That could bring to horrible things. Liyos tomid cherev ish be'ochiv ish be're'eyu. It could mamash bring to all the wars, because a lot of times they would speak it out. They put this on the words and they're done. Here, like he feels, I air out, I vented. Over here, he keeps it in his head. Brings some time to hariga, to killing. We see people inform on each other to the government because they hate each other in the heart. And it says, "V'amido apechuso." Look at the lashon he used. It's not so common in Sefer Achinuch. V'amido apechuso v'anim eses. That's a very low trade character, and despicable. Tachlis samius. It's like the utmost disgusting way. B'enei kol bal sechel. Now I just want to add to it. B'enei kol bal. Anybody has a little bit brain, kol bal understand that this is. Now, the only kabschus I have, some people, I don't have to tell you, in goal is for that reason, because of sinas chinam. The only kabschus I have, I'm saying to Hashem, please, I think, besides it being such a bad midah, most people that possess this midah, they're sick. So if a sick, onus rachmana patra, he's a sick man, why are you holding him liable for it? He cannot hold a mentally sick man liable for his mental, doesn't think straight. But if he feels he's not sick, then you over on an isur, a gerua b'yoytzer. So either way, you have to decide whether I'm mentally sick, then I have kavschus, whether I hate somebody just because, there's no really good reason to hate somebody. Okay, now, Pirta Mitzvah. It's a very bad midah. It says, that's we're going to talk about this now. This is some people give themselves a kavschus right here. They think that it goes under this. It says if you hate somebody Israel kosher, over loves him. There's no malchus with the there's only loik and love him. There's one besamik that goes malchus. You did some. You don't do ma'isa over here. Aval b'sinas reshoyim. If you hate a Russia, and that's again a lot of people put this right there. They put anybody I hate is a Russia. Well, we're going to talk about it. It's nicht so pashut. Aber b'sinas reshoyim and bo isur ela mitzvah lisnoison achar shonechei. If you rebuke a Russia, you tell him it's wrong what you're doing, and he didn't listen to you, and he continue his way, then you're allowed to hate him. Yeah. And then he says, not only you rebuke them, harbe pa'omim, you rebuke them many, many times. V'lo to lachzor b'hem. Shneimar, halo mesanecha Hashem esno, u'miskonecha eskoito, that's also in Tehillim, in Kuf Lametes, David HaMelech says, I hate people that hate Hashem and goes against Hashem, and I will fight with them. Okay, so be'emes, this posuk really, the Sefer HaChinuch and all the poskim, they don't just say on their own. They have always sources for what they say. So Minchas Chinuch put a tzarichiyun on this Makor, tzarichiyun kotonism, because the Gemara, that's brought in the Gemara and Shabbos, but the Gemara and Shabbos, and mentioned this posuk, the Gemara does not talk about hating Rishon. The Gemara talks about over there the inyan of if you have a Sforim on Shabbos as a Sreifa, which Sforim you're allowed to say, which not. And the Gemara says if some people that just they go against Hashem and they wrote some Sforim, the Sforim you shouldn't save, even though they wrote the Tanakh, let's say, because here's what the Gemara mentioned this posuk over there. Again, that doesn't talk about people, about what their work, what they wrote. And the Gemara says over there like this. So from them also you get the idea. If you took this idea. By the way, the Alter Rebbe also bring this posuk in Perek Lamed Beis. We're going to talk about it in a minute. But if you take this idea, if you take what's the idea, but one of the problems with Minchas Chinuch with this over there, it says it's not Sina Belev, because David HaMelech said, I will fight with them. I'm not going to give it in my heart. So that's two different mitzvahs. It's not Sina Belev over there. This posuk. So that's. However, so what we're learning from there, here's what the Gemara talks about. You can translate it also to go to Sefer HaChinuch and the Alter Rebbe, Lamaisa like this. He says like this. Why are you allowed not to save those Sforim? So Rabbi Shmuel says like this. Omar Rabbi Shmuel, Kal v'chomer, U'ma lasa sholem ben ish l'ishton, Omar Torah, Shmi shenichtav b'kedushay mocha l'amayim, by the soita, in order to make a peace between the husband and wife. We write Shem Hashem on a parchment, and we put it in the water, and it's being erased in the water. Shem Hashem being erased, that's a big aveira. For the sake of Sholem, Halolu, these people, this apikorsim, this meaning, matilim kino ve'eva v'tacharus ben Yisrael avim shebashamayim. They bring so much hatred between Jews and their Father in heaven. Or kino v'tacharus al achas kama v'kama. How much more you don't save their writings? V'alem amar David, alam b'sanecha Hashem esno miskomecha eskoito tachlis sinam sanesim lo'oivim hoyulu. Don't say they are your enemy, they're my enemy. Okay. Now here's what Rashi says. It's very important over here. Again, if you put in that pasuk is the makor. So like I said, here's Rashi. Shalolu nochrim oivda avodah zora en makirim sharebekach godlu v'chelomdim avosem. It goes on a little bit before. If you talk about stam oivda avodah zora, it's b'fchinas again. Tinak shenishba. He that oivda avodah. He don't know any better. He grew in that school. But these people, the meaning they knew better, and they're going against Hashem. This is what you're going to hate. Meaning is, in order somebody should earn this title of a Rasha or Tachlis Sin or Seneisik, that every somebody Yodea Riboino, you must cover Limroid. Go find such a people. Most people today are not in that level. They say the Rebbe brings this. He says that they asked the Friedrich Rebbe. He was makarev so many people, even people that at the end of Choshen Mishpat, it's halachas over there, who you don't help to serve their lives. People that are some Rishonim, and they look like this, they complain about the Friedrich Rebbe, that he would even makarev them. So the Rebbe answered, I think the Friedrich Rebbe himself answered that. He says, there is 4 Chelkei Shulchan Aruch, Rechaim, Redeya, and there's a Choshen Mishpat. He says, that says over there, that Mamash, the 2 or 3 chapters before that, Tov Chof Hei, yeah, 1 or 2 before, because the Torah has Tov Chav Vav, the Shulchan Aruch Tov Chav Zayin. 1 or 2 before the end. So he says, if you learn all the Shulchan Aruchs, and you makayim them, and you come there, and you know all the Shulchan Aruch to analyze who is this guy, then he says, you could bank on this halach. He says, if you didn't learn the whole Shulchan Aruch, and you're not makayim all of it, you have no authority to decide, and din and nefashos, you push it no authority. It's like somebody going to do a surgery, he's not a surgeon. You have no authority to decide. To Suddenly comes with the Vasinas Chinam law aleinu. It's a law aleinu. Because if people that give their head, oh, he's a Rasha, and he's this, that, who give you the authority to decide who's a Rasha? Even Goyim Avodah Zarah, Rashi brings over here, some of them they don't qualify for this because they don't know better. They grew like this. Same thing from Eden. They don't know any better. So that's why. Okay, now I want to bring what the Alter Rebbe says b'choire, and I'm going to bring also what's the makor for it. In Perek Lamed Beis and Tanya, the Alter Rebbe says over there like this. It says that it brings the Gemara. That's like this. It says that the Gemara is like this. U'ma shekosu b'Gemara shemishroi b'chaveira shechoto mitzvah lisnoi soi v'gam lo l'rabo shisnoeyu. Oh, no, you're allowed to hate him. Somebody did aveira. Okay. So it says the Choira, the Alter Rebbe, this whole paragraph we talk about Avas Yisrael. It says Hainu b'chaveira b'Torah mitzvahs v'kvar kimo mitzvahs v'chiat rechas amitecho. It's have to be your real friend, meaning from the same league. And you mekam to tell them im shitcha b'Torah mitzvahs v'aval begin lo shov mechetok כמו שכתוב בספר חרדים. Then you're allowed to hate him. Again, from the same league, in the same medrash, you the same thing, you already did, you're a real friend, and then you saw it did Dvar Avera, and you told him not to do it. And like the Sefer HaChinuch brought many times,
Cut your nails first.
many times, yeah, that's already spoke about cutting the nails also first, and then he didn't do tshuva, then you're allowed to hate him.
Then mitzvahs.
Yeah. Aval mi she'eno chaveiroi, look how many conditions you have. First of all, a lot of people that you hate, they're not your friends before.
They don't even know
You never met with them, or you don't daven in their shul, they're different than you. It's not your friend, it's not close to you. Hina al zeh Omar Hillel Azoken have mit Talmidav shel Aaron, Oyev Sholem, Rodev Sholem, Oyev Sabriyos Mekam Lator. Even Briyos Ba'alma, meaning they have nothing to them but creation of Hashem.
And
The-
the carbon of Torah.
Mekarmon Lator. That you have to do with Kiruv.
Which was what
Lo Imar she'av arachokim metoras avaya v'avodosoi v'lo chanikrim b'shem Briyos Ba'alma tzorich lemoshkan b'chevle avodas ahava. V'kula hai v'ulai yuchan lekarmon laTorah avodas Hashem. Maybe you're going to be able, if it bothers you, the Torah, but the Torah bothers you, not something personal. Maybe through your ahava you're going to accomplish mekarav them. It says v'hen loy, and it didn't work for you. Let's say you loved somebody and you didn't come close to Hashem because of your love. It says lo hivsit schar mitzvahs avos rein. The mitzvah of avos rein still there. Is another Eid you love. Oh, then it's like this. The gam amekurovim elov, meaning somebody from your anash, from your shul, from your crowd, and he close to you, v'oichichom, and you rebuke them. Like there's a whole procedure when you're allowed to hate. V'loi shovu me'avoyin l'sayim, shemitzvah lislo yisom. He says that's what the chiddush of the Alter Rebbe, and I'm going to show you it's not really a chiddush from the Alter Rebbe. It's a very old thing from the Tosfos. I'm going to show you in a minute. So he says shemitzvah lislo yisom, mitzvah la'avam gamken. You're allowed. There's a mitzvah. How you do that? It looks like a bipolar. There's a mitzvah to hate, mitzvah to love. How could you do that? V'shtem and emes.
Even in that matter, we're not talking
V'shtem and emes. Yeah, even when it's a mitzvah. Sino mitzad hara, you hate the ra in them. Shaboim. V'ahava mitzad b'chinas hatoim hagonus shaboim. Shu nitzatz elakus shabasoichem amchay nafshem elakis. Every Eid has nefesh elakis, nefesh abamis. So you hate is nefesh abamis. Your love is nefesh elakis. It says v'gam l'oire rachamim beliboy oleyo. Before I go this, I want to say like this. The Bible says like this. It's same thing by the way with the children. If a child did something wrong, there's two ways you could tell him and rebuke him. Let's say the child stole. Oh, the child lied. You could do the wrong way. Say you're a ganav. Oh, you're a liar. That's the wrong way. Yeah, even though it's true. Or you could say what you did. This is called a lie. Meaning you don't make him a liar. Or that's a theft. The Maisa is bad. You still have a lot good in you. Same thing with another Eid. If you tell him you're a ganav, meaning I hate you all of you, then it's the wrong way. He has in good stuff too. So this is what you did. What you did is geneva. That geneva I hate v'tachlis. This is not right. But you have good in you, and hopefully the good overcome the bad, and you become all good. So that's what he says. That's the split over here. And by the way, is in Paragel Amadalit. They also bring from the Zohar in the person himself. You could have sometime in yourself two opposite feelings. Bechiyot from the Zohar, bechiyot tekiya b'liba milibodo, misitrado. From one hand, I cry over my averes. From at the same time, chedva tekiya b'liba misitrado. From another hand, I'm happy. I'm coming close to Hashem. There is such a thing you could have, especially over here by the person. He is two people in one person. Nefesh Abahamis, animalistic soul. Nefesh Elokis. I hate by him the evil. I love the good by him. And you don't have all these conditions met. You can hate somebody. You have no authority to hate him. Because do you love him for his Nefesh Elokis? Because it's your brother? He says, and then he read like this. And the bad part of Yenem, of somebody else, the Nefesh Elokis is in Golus over there. Even that
level, you're able to transform.
Yes, meaning, so the end of the day, the hatred, it should not be a personal. The minute the hatred is personal, the whole thing, you have no, that with the Torah, the David HaMatach listeners, you don't understand the Pasuk. Now, here is the Gemara where we see this, it's amazing, really. The Gemara speak of it like this. When you as of Imoy. So the Gemara says, Kisinech Chamor Sonacho, Robert Tachas Masoe. So the Gemara talks about over there, you have one mitzvah, there is one donkey over here, you need to help him. Without getting the details, another donkey, and one is your soina, one is somebody you hate, the soina koidem. Yeah, the soina is first. It says like this. The Tosfos says,
How can you hate someone?
oh, very
No
good,
place to sin him.
very good.
Unless it's that.
How could you hate? The Gemara discussed this whole thing. The Gemara says, how could you hate somebody? The Torah talks about sinners. Well, the Torah tells halacha, the Ganav should do this and this. What do you mean? Torah give eitzes. How could he be a soiner? Elo, the Gemara says, in which scenario there is a heter to hate? The ikas ada, the ovid isura. There's witnesses that he did the isur, and like we said, the conditions you rebuked him, did the tshuva, and memela. Oh, so he says the Gemara asked this also not a good answer. Why? Kul almanamim is the son. What do we consider chamor son acho? It's your personal enemy. Everybody have to hate him. He's a Rosh Gomer, and people told him it's not allowed to. He says, I don't care. Then everybody have to hate him. So should consider chamor son acho. Ma'ishno hai elalav ki hai gamna. The chazer beiu dvar erva. He saw something he did wrong. No one else saw it. Yeah. So the Gemara said, then nobody doesn't have to hate him because they didn't see it. According to this, by the way, if your friend telling you about someone else, he did aveira, there's no witnesses.
One of the names is the Pharisee.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you didn't see him, so you cannot hate him. If Yankel told you Lashon Hora that Chaim did aveira, and you saw it, you cannot hate Chaim. Yeah.
You can't be the only one to see it. It's not Pharisee.
Yes, what do you do?
Anyway, so let's go to the Tosfos of it. But that's a punchline.
That's not the definition of Pharisee. Pharisee isn't the Yochid sword. Pharisee means...
Or two witnesses, or two kosher.
That's what
No,
Pharisee is.
two kosher witnesses saw it, and they tell everybody. Okay, so the Gemara...
Two people saw it.
Okay.
So it's not one. It's not one.
No, meaning no. The one saw it himself, he allowed to hate him. The one saw it himself, he allowed to hate him. Because he told him...
It's not Tanai of Pharisee.
No, it doesn't have to be Pharisee. If you saw him doing Aveira. And...
One of the Tanai you said earlier was Pharisee. One of the Tanai from the quarter before.
Okay, anyway, so let me... Okay, we maybe go to let me tell you why all this is not important. I'll tell you why. Here's the Tosfos of it. That's the punchline of it. I mean, we could go to the Sugi, we could sit on them for a long time. Yeah, here. Says Shroba Dvar Erva. Vim Tema de Be'elam, which is Amrinan, Oyav Lifrak, B'Soine, Little Mitzvah, B'Soine, the Lochup Es Yitzroi. We're saying why it's mitzvah to help a soiner first before you have to help.
You don't have a soiner. Why would you get the...
One you saw doing dvar aveira and you hate him for that because you saw it. You're allowed to hate him. Everybody else not allowed to hate him. You know it. You told him you're doing aveira. You're this and he's continuing.
And he's your cover.
And he's your chaver, right? But you're allowed to hate him now for the ra. Very good. And the Gemara B'Metzia says, but you have two donkeys over here. One needs help, two needs help. Who are you going to go first? The Gemara says, you go to the soiner first, the one you hate, the person you hate, beheter. Because he did dvar and you saw it. Why? Local pesisra, to break your Yetzer Hara. Because this way you're not going to hate it. It says, "V'hashto my kfiyas eter shayich kan." The mitzvah is loitza. The Gemara tells him, "Psachim over here that you're allowed to hate him when you saw dvar erva by him, and you told him not to. Then he continued to do it. Nobody knows, but you are allowed to hate him because you saw it yourself." So the Gemara says, "V'yeshloimar kivan shu soinoi."
But you saw what? You saw his dvar erva.
You saw it, and you're allowed to hate him, not nobody else. So you have to help him first.
Okay.
Why? To koifa Yetzer Hara,
You're
to break.
to help you.
You're
saying,
your own paper, yes.
Yeah. So, but the question,
The reason why you have to hate him first.
yeah, but the question of the Toys was why you have to be koi for your. It's not Yetzer Hara, it's Yetzer Toy, but you're allowed to do it.
Right.
So what do you mean? I'm going to break my Yetzer Hara? It's not Yetzer Hara. The Torah give me permission. There's a posuk over there. The Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak bring the permission. Yiras Hashem soinei ra. People that hear Hashem, they soinei ra. They're so evil, they hate it. Like David Amelech says. That if you enemy, they're my enemy. So anyway, so what's shaykh to break the Yetzer Hara? So the Tosfos answer, that's the point, and that's what the Alter Rebbe takes, what he breaks in Perek Lamed Beis. I believe it's from here. He says, "Yesh loimer, kivan shu soinoi, gam chaveira soinoi." In return, because you hate your friend, he did aveira. In return, he's going to hate you because that's how it works. If you hate somebody, he's going hold on. He's going to hate you. Meaning like this. Originally, your sinner to your friend started l'shem shamayim. You hate him because you saw dvar aveira, and you're allowed to hate him. Then in return, you hate him, he hates you. He feels the feeling. He feels you hate me, I'm going to hate you. Memele that the hatred at the end is going to turn personal. Nothing to do with aveira. Originally you started with Hashem Shamayim, you love God, you once again God, and you like Pinchas ben Elazar, Mekana l'Shem Havaya. Originally, yeah, but right now it converted to a real sinner, and that's not right. And that's what the Alter Rebbe says. Which is a real sinner, meaning you have to split this. And the person you have good, and you have to love the good in him. You have bad, you have to eat it. So maybe I don't hate him personally. He's not one piece. It's a two units. It's more than that even. So I hate the bad what he did, the action. But the minute I hate him on all, the whole thing I hate because it's become personal. Then it's not already. So according to this, Lamaisa will summarize this. Really, if you're looking for a heterim to hate somebody,
You better love it.
they're really you're a lot safer zone if you love somebody. You're a lot safer zone because if you hate them, you have so many problems that if you So the mail, I just want to say one ma'aser b'kitzur. That's summarized. I heard the ma'aser. I read it and heard it from two different. One I read it by Shlomo Zevin. I think he told the ma'aser about Reb Chaim Brisker. Some bring the ma'aser of Besol Salanta. There was a time in Russia. There was a magefa. Was a plague, and a plague. People were dying, and there was such a condition that by Yom Kippur there was a shaila if they're allowed to fast, because that could worsen the plague. So again, like I said, I heard the message of Reb Chaim Brisker. I read it, and so Reb Chaim Brisker that he wanted to tell paskin to people to eat on Yom Kippur, saying a lot of people would not listen. Yom Kippur, how could we eat? So he went on Yom Kippur after davening, made kiddush publicly. And he showed them, I'm eating, you guys have to eat because sakana to fast. After Yom Kippur, there was a lot of rumors like he's kaudas, he's makel, he's very lean on Yom Kippur. So Reb Chaim wanted to answer, defend himself. He says, you saying I was makel on Yom Kippur, that's not at all, he says. I'm a big machmer, he says. I'm machmer and tekuach nefesh, he says. It's the same thing over here. You people want to find a heter to hate somebody, he's this and he's that. No, you have to be machmer and avas Yisrael, because to hate to be mamash mitzvah, it's very difficult to find such a scenario. So many conditions you have to grow to do it, and maybe it's not the Shem Shemaim, maybe really it's personal, but it's not a mitzvah. That's why if you do avas Yisrael with ahava, you have a karev, you are allowed, you are safer, and you can be machmer in avas Yisrael.